All right, hopefully everybody. Nope, I'm not sharing it. There we go. Now I'm sharing. All right. We're going to start off with a couple of things today. I want to go over some nuts and bolts of Teams and how it kind of works. We've had a lot of questions on that. Um, so we're going to go over that real quick. And then we're going to go on to Flipgrid. I've been meaning to do Flipgrid for a while. I just kind of forgot. And so we're going to start with our Flipgrid assignments today. We will be doing one every day. So be ready for that. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about The Most Dangerous Game. All right, it's a story by Richard Connell, and we're going to be looking into that a little bit today. Let's start with um, Teams. I like Teams because everybody can be here. You can see what's going on. I can quickly start conversations or meetings, and it works really well in the online environment. One of the things about Teams that I like a lot is I can see exactly who's where. So I started this meeting 53 minutes ago, and I had the little placeholder that said we were going to be starting class at 9:30. And then I can see exactly who made it to class right now. I can see exactly who's in here a couple of different ways. I can look right there at the class meeting, and it'll actually tell me that 1, 2, 3, 4, 13 of us are in here. I can also show my participants and see exactly who's here. But that's easy for my attendance, right? I can get that done easy. Also, within our novel groups, I'm going to show novel group 1. Every time you meet, it shows me, hey, there was a meeting started. Hey, these are the 4 people who were in the meeting. So if I need an attendance thing, I can just look, and all of a sudden, boom, there's my attendance. I can also see how long you met for. So when I tell you you need to be meeting for an hour every day, this is how I tell, right here. So this is how I'm going to be grading you if you're attending class. When Mount Sac asks, how do you know that these kids have been in class? I'm going to say right here. They're in class for an hour here. I was in my teams. We were meeting for this long. That's how I account for your time. The next thing about novel groups, I'm going to show you novel group 8 just because I know that they have stuff in there. So they uploaded the study guide for questions 1 and 2. That's awesome. They never need to upload another study guide. I know there's a couple here. We're going to fix that today with them. But all they have to do is open this document and add every time they want to add something. It will automatically save your changes because you were online. You don't need to upload another one. You don't need to have one for everybody. You have one study guide, and every time you open it and you push this button that says edit, you're going to be able to edit it and add to it. So you never need to turn that in again. All I need to do is go look and make sure that the work's being done. And that's exactly what I'm going to start doing today. You should have study guide questions for chapters 1, 2, and you're going to do chapter 3 today. So make sure that those are up there when I start grading. The other thing I like about Teams is that I can push things out to you very quickly. Here is our first Flipgrid topic. Okay, I don't need to do anything but drop it in here. What you're going to do is you're going to click on that link, and that link is going to take you to something that looks like this. If you've never done Flipgrid before, I'm going to walk you through the process of doing a Flipgrid video right now. It's very simple. The first thing you're going to do is you are going to log in with Microsoft. You already have an account, and the only way you can get to this class grid is by using your school email. So I'm going to log in with Microsoft right here, and it's going to pop this little thing up, and I'm going to say it's my work account. It's going to take you to the sign-in page. If you're already signed in, it won't do this. Here's my stuff. Sign in. It's going to say reduce the number of sign-ins. I'm going to say yes because I'm tired of having to do that. And here is the grid. Okay? If we have more than one topic, it's going to live right here where it says 2 topics, and I can flip between the 2. You don't need to do this one. This is the one we're doing right now, the daily check-in. So here are the questions. What did you work on today? What did you finish? What do you still need to finish? And how can I help you do your work? Like, turn on your video for this. I want to be able to see you. And tell me what you need help with. Help me help you. Like, I want everybody to pass. This is different. If you really need support with something, I need to know so that I can help you out. I don't want anybody failing. So when I'm ready, if I want, I can go ahead and write these down, but I don't need to because I'm going to go right here to this button. Now, as you can see, it says moderated on there. That means I'm going to look at it and approve it before it goes out. I'm not going to share these with anybody. I'm going to keep every single one of these videos private because it's a dialogue between you and I on whether or not I need to help you and what you've been doing. So I'm not sharing these videos. I did it all last summer. After the first 2 days, when students were kind of like shy and didn't really want to do it, it became a good tool for a back and forth conversation, especially if people needed help, and that's fine. So to record a video, I'm going to push that plus. It might ask you in a pop-up whether or not you can use your video and your microphone. Please say yes. That's the only way this works. So I have 1 minute and 30 seconds to record. This is what is going to be showing. I can pop out a sticky note or I can type my answers. If I have a long answer, this is where I'm going to type those answers right now, but it's 3 questions. If I need to remember what my questions are, I can pop that out and put it to the side. What did I work on? What did I finish? What do I still need to finish? There are options down here. Don't put any filters on. I mean, if that's the only way I'm going to get you to do it, by all means, use a filter. But it's not going to count either way. Just don't use a pixel. I want to actually see your face. You don't need to title it, but you can if you want to put a sticker on there. Don't go crazy. 3 stickers max. They have some interesting stickers, like putting sunglasses on. 3 stickers max. I want to be able to see your face. To get rid of it, let's see. I just hit delete. All right. I can draw on the screen. I can use it as a whiteboard. We might use those features later. We're not going to use them right now, though. So I'm going to go back to regular. And to record, this is all I do. I hit record. There's some video options right here. Record audio, yes. I'm not going to do screen recording. But if I already had a video, I can upload it here. I can switch the cameras, which I think I have my snap camera working right now. So will it use my snap? Yeah, it does. It uses my snap camera. All right, cool. Let's turn that off. All right, when I want to record, I hit record. 3, 2, 1 gives me a countdown. Hello, Mr. Covington. My name is Mr. Covington, and I'm working on our test for tomorrow. I still need to get that test done. It's not done yet. I have graded almost everything they've turned in. So make sure that you get that feedback to them so they know you're actually looking at the stuff. Boom. Done. I hit pause. If I want to keep adding, because I have to gather my thoughts, I can. When I'm ready, I hit next. You probably can't hear it, but it will play your recording for you out right here. If I want to add more, I can add more. If not, I'm going to hit next. It's going to ask you to take a selfie. Why does it ask you to take a selfie? So you don't look stupid like that when your video is submitted. So you could take a selfie. There you go. There's my selfie. And it's going to upload it right here. Okay, I don't care about the title or the link. Just make sure your name is correct and submit. Congratulations, it's there, complete. Now, my video is submitted, but will be hidden until approved by your educator. Like I said, I'm not going to approve any of these. On my side, what it looks like is this. I'm just put a response in. I have 1 response. It's my response. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and view it. All right. It seems fast because it is, because I listened to all my responses at 1.5 or 2. So it's fine. And then I will give you feedback on your video and type any comments I have here. Then I just email that feedback and it sends it to you right away. It's very simple to do, but it's a great check-in for me. It makes sure that we have some sort of a dialogue outside of Teams to get this done. You'll be doing one of these every day. They're worth 25 points. Okay? So make sure you get them done by the end of the day. I'm going to be dropping the links into Teams like this, just like I did today. Sorry. Here's the link to Teams. All right, for Flipgrid. If you have any questions on Flipgrid, you can ask them in the chat, or you can ask me personally. It doesn't matter, but I will go ahead and answer them. Flipgrid's pretty easy. Hopefully most of you have used it before. All right, next we're going to be doing the most dangerous game. Let me make sure I actually assign the most dangerous game to you real quick, because that would be good, right? Short story 1, contents. Oh, there it is. That's next week. Oh, I did the monkey's paw. I'm going to pass out most dangerous game right now because it fits in with our Pulp Fiction readings from the other day. It's from the same era. I thought I did that. It was monkey's paw. That's all right. I'll do most dangerous game. I'll pass it out later. So let's start looking at most dangerous game. It's going to be a quick one. It's pretty interesting. They have just made the most dangerous game into a TV series. It's on like some weird channel though. So I just thought it was interesting that it's there. Let me pull this up. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. Most Dangerous Game. It's a novel by Richard Connell. The Most Dangerous Game was written in 1924. It first came out in one of those pulp fiction magazines. Okay. If you remember Pulp Fiction from the other day, it's all about serialized, and that's exactly what this was. It was put out over, I think it was 2 or 3 installments. As you can see, it's a real short story, so it's pretty interesting to go ahead and read. I'm fixing it on my screen. So, Most Dangerous Game. Short story, like I said. It follows the pursuits of Sanger Rainsford. He is a big game hunter, okay? And big game are things like tigers and lions and elephants and jaguar. So he was a hunter. And to prove their prowess, remember early 1900s, they would go out hunting on these big trips. It was very popular back then for wealthy people because they're really the only ones who could afford it. But it showed kind of how wealthy you were and that you were kind of like a manly man because you can go out and kill these things. People thought, oh, must be an adventure. He can go out and stalk and show his dominance over the other animals. In actuality, you just had enough money to go somewhere and pay people to lead you to this place where a big animal is, and then you pulled the trigger, and that was about it. So, controversial now, wasn't back then. But he is a big game hunter. He travels the world, and kind of, people would understand by the fact he was a big game hunter kind of his social status. And that's what he's doing. He's been to Africa, he's been to Asia, now he's going to South America to go hunt big game, probably jaguars, because that's the biggest game they have down there. So he's on a yacht, big boat, fancy. He's going to Rio de Janeiro. It's in Brazil. It's in the South America. So he's going down the East Coast. And you kind of jump into the story with him and a passenger, Whitney. And they're kind of talking, and they point out this island that's called Shipwreck Island. And it's a place that sailors don't want to come near because there's a lot of reefs around, and you can't see them, and a lot of ships wreck around there. It seems to be bad luck, and sailors are very superstitious. So Whitney and Rainsford are big game hunters. They're going to go a trip up the Amazon River, but the yacht's sailing through the darkness going toward Rio in the ocean right now. So they have this little conversation about whether or not their game, the prey, actually feel fear. Okay, that's a big concept in this. So if you're being hunted, do animals have the reasoning to feel fear when they are being hunted? Rainsford comes out and he says he believes the world only consists of predators and prey. You're either the hunter or you're being eaten. You're the hunted, right? So that's his kind of polarizing worldview. Whitney Not as certain. There might be shades of gray in there. Okay, so they notice kind of the jitteriness of the crew. Whitney wants to sail past the mysterious island as soon as possible, and he says that he thinks that these sailors can sense danger and that evil emanates in waves like light and sound. So they are in tune to feel this danger that is coming from the island. So Shipwreck Island. It's kind of funny. Um, so they're traveling by. Whitney goes to bed. Rainsford's like, I'm gonna smoke my pipe a little bit longer, and then I'll hit the hay. I'm gonna go to bed. And then suddenly, from Shipwreck Island, he hears three shots in the distance, and he like moves closer to the railing to kind of peer out, right? And can't see anything. So he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stand on the railing because maybe I'll be able to see. He's not that smart a man, right? So he stands on the railing to get a better look, and then he drops his pipe. When he drops his pipe, he loses his balance in an attempt to catch it and literally falls into the water. Okay, so shots on the island. He wants to get a better look. He falls in the water. He can't really cry out. Nobody hears him on the boat, and his only chance of survival is to actually swim to the island. So he does. He swims to the island, right? Um, he can tell where the island is because there's a screeching sound of an animal in agony on the island, and he heads straight for it. That's how he's able to tell which direction the island is in. So he goes. He's swimming. Um, and that kind of leads him to the island until all of a sudden there's a pistol shot and everything's quiet. So he finally gets to shore. He's exhausted and he falls asleep. Okay. And then you could pick up the story on your own as he wakes up and finds what he finds. And then you get into meeting some of the characters. A couple of themes that are present here. So here we go. Two themes are reason versus intellect and the effects of war. So you pit Rainsford, this manly man, this hunter, against a guy on the island called General Zaroff. Now, General Zaroff is a Russian Cossack, and Russian Cossacks are from an area called the Cossack Mountains. And for hundreds of years, they were known as very brutal fighters. And they were the ones that helped the Russian Empire expand its borders and keep the peace along the border regions. So, um, all of this led to the Russian Revolution in 1917, which was happening during World War One. And as soon as the war was over, the new Russian communists didn't like the fact that they had these Cossacks so close because they weren't really in line with the communist thinking. And so after World War One, the Russian communists wage a genocidal war against these Cossacks, and it caused a lot of them to leave Russia and the Ukraine and Crimea area to be dispersed all over the world. And so this is what General Zaroff is. He's an old military man from the Cossacks who fought in World War One. So did Rainsford, and he has established a base on this island. So they pit Rainsford and Zaroff against each other, and it allows them to blur the line between hunter and prey. We were kind of talking about that, and human and animal. And basically, what happens is Zaroff's been killing animals for years and says, "This isn't a challenge. The only challenge I have left is the most dangerous game of all, and that is man." And so Zaroff goes off to hunt Rainsford, right? And Rainsford really doesn't want that to happen, but when a guy's got a gun and he says, "I'll see you in the morning. I hope I don't find you or I'm going to kill you," he's kind of like stuck, right? Um, so the theme here is that reason and intellect are not mutually exclusive as people have traditionally thought. Writers and philosophers traditionally practice human intellect and the ability to reason above bestial basic instincts of wild animals, right? Like we can think things through, we have intelligent reasons for doing things. Animals just rely on this basic instinct. And so where do those lines blur? And Connell is the author is kind of blurring those dichotomy between reason and instinct through Rainsford and through Zaroff. And you kind of get to see what wins out in the end. Um, the effects of war are also felt here. Although Rainsford and Zaroff, they have similar backgrounds. They're both wealthy hunters. They have radically different interpretations of their wartime experiences. General Zaroff tells Rainsford about his days slumming in the Russian army, a brief job like commanding Cossack cavalry, but it was distracting his love of the hunt, which he wants to do. He he retains his title of general from the army, and it's a nod to his thirst for power over other individuals' lives. Generals are very high up in the army, and they kind of control what's going on around them, and that's the fact that Zaroff calls himself General Zaroff is a nod to that. He also suggested Zaroff's martial experiences altered him to allow him to think of other people as worthy prey. Like, you normally don't get to hunt humans, right? Like, that's not a thing people do. But war has blurred these lines. In war, it's your responsibility to maintain or hold or, you know, win at any cost. And a lot of times that cost is human life. So he has now expanded his horizons as this general during wartime to hunt humans, and that's kind of where this kicks off. His inflated ego, he's got a disdain for humanity and a sadistic thrill at inflicting suffering, all stem from basically viewing his life through the sight of a rifle. Like, that frames his references for everything. Zaroff, when he kind of tells him about this, Rainsford is outraged, right? And Zaroff kind of laughs it off. Says he's primly Victorian, he's overly Puritan. Rainsford remembers the war differently, though. He's not one of those that was commanding, that was tasked to do these things, that, didn't have a lens through this, the scope of a gun, right? He remembers the grueling, the harrowing aspects of warfare. He recalls desperately digging trenches with insufficient tools on the European front lines of World War One. Infantry and cavalrymen in war are very different. Infantrymen fight in the trenches, they fight on their feet, they dig the trenches, and it was a lot of stalemate, especially in World War One. In World War One, cavalrymen would ride in, do their job, which was mostly scaring off or killing infantrymen, and then ride back. And so they didn't have that. I'm stuck in the trenches. I got to dig what could be my own grave, right? Rainsford feels the powerlessness of having to dig those trenches, while Zaroff never really felt that at all. And those experiences kind of help or hurt Rainsford and Zaroff as this kind of plays out on the island. Lastly, we have our two main characters. I've kind of talked about it. Senator Rainsford is a big game hunter. He's intelligent and he's experienced and level headed. General Zaroff is a Cossack. I kind of briefly described them as old military men, very proud fighting men, good at what they were doing. He is a hunting aficionado. He has a military air and a slightly mysterious air about him. And in the end, he tries to come off as aristocratic, as being part of the gentry or upper crust, but he just comes off as being sadistic. So, Most Dangerous Game, it's a 5 to 7 page read. It's not that long. I'm going to upload it in Teams right now so we can get going on it. That'll be there for you guys. Remember, all your work is due Friday. Make sure that you have submitted it. You push that turn in button when you're done. Let me go back to here real quick. So in your assignments, this is coming out tomorrow. Let's look at Poetry 1. So here's the student view. Here's the Stopestone. Remember, all you have to do is open this, hit edit. Oh, look, I can already edit. And then once you're done, close it. It will automatically save. You don't need to take a picture. You don't need to email it to me. You don't need to share it with me. All you need to do is type in here like it says, and then when you're done, hit close and then turn in the assignment. That way I know it's time for me to grade it. One of the things I like about Teams again is that there's no moving of anything back and forth. I know I said it a couple times, but I, can't get over it. It's kind of awesome. I'm gonna drop the most dangerous game into your assignments right now. It'll be due Friday. If you already did the monkey's paw, don't worry about it. You're ahead of the game for next week. If you have any questions, I will be here. If not, it is time for you to get into your novel groups. I'm going to put the link for chapter 3 up right now in here so you guys can have it. And like I said, I'll be here if you have any questions. But other than that, have a great day. Do your novel chapter 3, most dangerous game, and then Flipgrid. Make sure you do that Flipgrid today. See you guys later.